The U.S. presidential election is a little over 2 weeks away, with the Democrats, Kamala Harris, and Republican Donald Trump sharpening their attacks in recent days in a race that's currently very close.
The 2024 U.S. presidential election is fast approaching, and it's already shaping up to be one of the most controversial in recent memory. From heated political battles to rising concerns about democracy, many key issues could decide not just who wins, but how Americans feel about the future of their country. Let's break down the major controversies surrounding the election. Before we dive into today's topic, please take a quick moment to hit that subscribe button. By subscribing, you'll stay updated on all our latest videos. Donald Trump is running for president again in 2024, and his return has divided the nation. For his supporters, Trump is a hero who stands up against corrupt politicians and the media. They see him as someone who made America stronger during his first term with better economic growth and a focus on national pride. But Trump also faces serious challenges. He's been involved in several legal battles, including accusations that he tried to overturn the results of the 2020 election. His critics say that Trump's actions after losing in 2020, especially his role in the January 6th Capitol riot, prove that he's a danger to democracy. Many wonder if it's safe to give him a second chance. President Joe Biden stepped down from the 2024 presidential race and endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris as the Democratic nominee. His decision came amid growing concerns about his age and health as he approached 82, making him one of the oldest presidential candidates. By stepping aside, Biden aimed to rally the Democratic Party behind a candidate he believes can unify and energize the base, particularly as the campaign season grew increasingly competitive. Harris's nomination marks a significant moment as Biden encouraged Democrats to support her candidacy and continue the administration's policy goals under her leadership. Biden plans to serve out the remainder of his term and support Harris in her campaign efforts to ensure continuity of their shared vision for the administration and the party's priorities moving forward. However, a huge issue in this election is the debate over voting rights. Across the country, states have passed new voting laws that critics say make it harder for certain groups of people to vote. These groups often include minorities, young people, and those living in poorer areas. Some of the new laws require voters to show ID, cut down on early voting, and limit access to mail-in ballots. Supporters of these laws say they are necessary to protect against voter fraud, ensuring that elections are fair and secure. However, many people believe these laws are really just a way to keep specific groups from voting, especially those who might vote for Democrats. This fight over voting rights could be a major factor in deciding the outcome of the election. Another worrying trend in 2024 is the growing influence of extreme political views. On the far right, groups that promote conspiracy theories and anti-government ideas are gaining power. These groups often support Donald Trump and believe that the 2020 election was stolen, despite no evidence to support this claim. On the far left, some progressive activists are pushing for big changes like defunding the police, raising taxes on the rich, and taking immediate action on climate change. While their ideas are popular among young people, some fear they are too radical and could push moderate voters away. Both sides of the political spectrum accuse the other of being a threat to democracy. With so much anger and division, many are concerned that no matter who wins, the country will face unrest and further political violence. While most of the attention is focused on the battle between Trump and Kamala, third-party candidates could shake things up. Historically, third-party candidates don't win, but they can play a spoiler role by pulling votes away from the major parties. Some voters, tired of both Democrats and Republicans, are looking for alternatives. In a close election, these candidates could influence the outcome. However, critics argue that voting for a third-party candidate is a wasted vote that only helps the candidate you like the least. But with so much dissatisfaction with the current political system, some voters feel it's time to break away from the two-party structure and demand real change. The 2024 election isn't just about who will lead the country for the next 4 years. It's about the direction the U.S. will take in the future. The growing political divide, concerns over democracy, and extreme political views on both sides have created an atmosphere of uncertainty. Many people worry that if the election results are disputed like in 2020, it could lead to more chaos, legal challenges, and even violence. The question remains, can America come together after the election, or will the nation continue to tear itself apart? This election will be pivotal for the future of the United States. Trump's comeback, Kamala's challenges, voting rights issues, rising extremism, and the influence of third-party candidates are just some of the factors making 2024 one of the most unpredictable elections in modern history. Whoever wins will have the task of not only leading the country, but also healing a deeply divided nation. The 2024 election goes far beyond choosing a president. It is a reflection of the deep ideological, cultural, and generational divides in America. Whether the nation chooses to continue with the Democratic Party leadership or brings Donald Trump back into power, the results will have lasting consequences for the political landscape, both nationally and globally. The rise of political extremism has also brought the idea of democracy into sharper focus. The increasing influence of radical groups, conspiracy theories, and aggressive rhetoric has put many Americans on edge, fearing that this election could lead to more violence or even civil unrest. If either side feels the results are illegitimate, it could spark nationwide protests and deepen the already fragile trust in democratic processes. At its core, the 2024 election is about competing visions for the future of the United States. Donald Trump's America First agenda promises a return to nationalism, stronger borders, and a rollback of progressive policies. His campaign focuses on issues like reducing regulations, cutting taxes, and cracking down on immigration, appealing to voters who feel left behind by globalization and cultural change. Kamala's campaign, meanwhile, positions itself as one of stability and progress. Democrats' vision is centered on strengthening alliances, addressing climate change, expanding healthcare, and promoting social justice. These opposing views reflect the broader cultural divide in America, between those who fear the country is losing its traditional values and those who believe it must adapt to a more diverse and changing society. Major policy issues are also on the line in this election. Climate change, for example, is a central concern for many young voters. Biden's administration has taken steps to invest in renewable energy and reduce carbon emissions, but many argue that more aggressive action is needed to prevent environmental catastrophe. On the other hand, Trump has consistently rolled back environmental regulations, arguing that these policies hurt American businesses and economic growth. Similarly, healthcare remains a major topic. Biden has worked to expand the Affordable Care Act, while Trump and Republicans have long promised to repeal it, focusing instead on privatized solutions. The future of healthcare access for millions of Americans could be directly affected by the outcome of this election. Other key issues include immigration reform, gun control, and reproductive rights. These are all areas where the two candidates and their parties have vastly different approaches, and where the election will likely have lasting impacts. In the end, 2024 could be a turning point for the United States. If the political climate continues to worsen and extremism grows, the very identity of America as a beacon of democracy could be at risk. On the other hand, there's a possibility that this election could be a step toward healing, where the country begins to bridge the divides that have grown so wide in recent years. It's also possible that, regardless of the winner, the deep-rooted issues in American society, inequality, polarization, racial tensions, and distrust in institutions won't disappear overnight. What's clear is that the stakes of this election go far beyond a simple political victory. It's about the future direction of the country and whether the United States can overcome its current challenges to emerge stronger and more united. As voters head to the polls in November 2024, they will not only decide who will lead them, but also, in many ways, the future course of American democracy, identity, and influence on the global stage. Thank you very much for taking out time to watch the video. Kindly share your thoughts with us at the comments section, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, as this helps the channel to grow. Thanks once again.